Welcome to Online Excel. I created this welcome video to help those students who have not taken an online course before learn how to navigate this online course. Even if you've taken an online course before, you may find this video helpful as every instructor organizes their courses differently. So this is my main home page, and you're going to want to start here to find your particular class. We do have two sections of Excel running at the same time during the summer, and those two sections share some components. For example, both sections will use the same message board, which is nice because then you'll get a wider variety of students posting to the board. So from here, you're going to want to scroll down to the bottom. This list of classes will show all the classes that I have in the fall, spring, and summer. The spring will drop off at some point, but summer and fall will still be here. Near the bottom are the summer courses, and you can see again, there's two sections of Excel. They're both identical, and again, they share components. You want to make sure, though, that you know which section you're enrolled in, because your username and password will only work on the section in which you're enrolled. So I'm just going to click on the first section here, and this is the section homepage. You're going to want to bookmark this section homepage, because this is where you'll return every week to figure out what you need to do for that particular week, or if you have questions and want to contact me, this is the best place to do it. So the section homepage has basic information about the course. In addition to the fact that there are two sections of the course running, you may also use either Excel 2010 or 2013 to complete this course, and there are two different textbooks for each version, so you want to make sure you know which version you're using. Down at the bottom here, it'll also show you the textbooks that are available. You only need one of those two books, just make sure you know which one you need. And again, bookmark this page. From the section webpage, you're going to want to choose your schedule. Again, there are two schedules, one for 2010 and one for 2013. The schedules are different because there are different textbooks with different assignments, page numbers, etc. The syllabus, however, is the same regardless of which schedule you're using or which section you're enrolled in. This navigation bar is going to be at the top of most of all the course home pages. The first button will take you back to my main home page. The second button will take you into the syllabus, and this is the first time you'll need to use your username and password. Once you type in your username and password, you'll go ahead and get into the syllabus webpage. The syllabus has all the information that you need to know about this course, including the welcome video, which you've already found. My office hours are listed on here as well. I am online every day, but you can count on me being online Monday evenings from 5 to 7 p.m. and Thursdays from 9 to 10 a.m. That means if you email me during that time, you'll get an immediate response. If you email me on Monday at noon, it'll take me a few hours to get back to you, maybe even up to 24, depending on what's happening. I do teach other classes as well, so I might be in another class for the day. I have a voicemail box, but I do respond much quicker to email than I do to voicemail. And you can always find my email link on my main homepage. There's information here about the course, some of the things that we're going to cover. Important dates. It's important to note these dates as they may pertain to you. The last day to opt for pass, no pass is an important date if you're considering that option. And then the last day of withdrawal, and then when all coursework must be completed. The final project is a project, not an exam, and you will need Adobe Reader in order to view that. Most computers have Adobe Reader, but if you don't, there's a link here for you to access it. Below that is information about the schedule, and there are two checklists. Again, one for 2010 and one for 2013. You'll want to click on the checklist link, and this is a PDF document as well, and print this page out. This page is going to give you a summary of all the assignments that are due, their due date, and their possible point value, along with the total points available. It's important that you have this information because you can check things off as you go, and you always know exactly what's due every week. And again, they're different for the two versions because they have different assignments. Below that is information here on using the message board, which we'll look at in a minute. Quizzes. There are 6 quizzes, one at the end of each chapter. The quizzes are online. They consist of multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, and matching questions. Once you open the quiz, you must complete it, and quizzes are worth 10 points each for a total of 60. You can't open the quiz, print it out, view it, close it, and then go back and open it later. You'll incur a deduction for that. You have to complete the quiz as well within 20 minutes unless you have an accommodation from Disability Resources. If you do have that accommodation, please go ahead and email that to me or have your counselor email that to me. There is no timer on the quiz, so you need to keep track of your own time. A lot of students use a cell phone with a timer on it to follow that. Once you click the Submit button, your quiz gets sent to the gradebook, but your grade for the quiz won't show until after the due date. I usually grade your work within 24 hours. Sometimes, again, it could take 1 to 3 days, depending on how much I have coming in at once. But you'll see those scores for assignments in the gradebook as soon as they're graded. Then there's information on here about protecting your computer from viruses, and then making sure that you're honest in class and doing your own work. You'll want to read the academic integrity policy. There is a quiz associated with that. The quiz is not worth any points, but you are required to complete the quiz in order to continue with the class. You can take the quiz as many times as you need to in order to successfully complete it with 100%. So I'll go back to the top here, and I am going to go to the 2010 schedule. And again, 2013 will look almost identical, except it'll say 2013 up here. So every week, there's a box here that gives you a summary of what you're going to be doing. It shows you the dates that you're going to be working, and then the due date for the items in that week. And then it'll also list the actual items that you're working on. Many of these items will be links as well. And then on the far right, there'll be a link directly to that weekly lecture webpage, which you'll want to view as well. Because even though it might tell you what work you're doing, you'll want to click that link to get more information about it. So I've already clicked the course syllabus link here. You will need to download some data files for some of the work that we'll do in later chapters. If you have trouble with that, please let me know and I can get the files to you another way. But there are directions there on the site about downloading. There is some extra credit that's due in week 1. It is optional, but I definitely encourage you to do the extra credit. As you know, you may have a problem with a quiz going forward. Quizzes can't be taken after the due date, so you want to make sure that you complete as much work as you can, and the extra credit might help to cushion some of that. From the schedule, you'll want to click the introduction. Each of these weekly topics will be available in the week in which it's due. So for example, the week 2 topic, which is chapter 1, won't be open until 6:22. Usually I open it the night before, but you can count on it being open on Monday mornings. Assignments are always due on Monday at midnight, Monday night at midnight, 11:59 p.m. So you have more than a full week to do your work, which includes a full weekend. So I'll go ahead and click on the introduction here. And again, this is for the Excel 2010 version. 13 will look very similar. Shows you a picture of the textbook here. And every week I'll have information on this weekly lecture webpage about what you'll be doing that week. I often have, almost every week I'll have a video as well, similar to this one. None of the videos are more than 30 minutes long. Most are 10 to 15. This one is only 5 minutes. Gives you some information that's not in the textbook. A lot of the time I will demonstrate the project in the textbook. So if you're having trouble with something, it can be helpful to watch the video. You can watch it as many times as you need to. You can watch it again and again. Whatever you need to do. Start and stop it, it's fine. Once you get to the actual lecture section, I'll refer to the page numbers so that you can look for anything that looks unfamiliar or things that look different. I recommend that students go through, look at the lecture before they read the chapter, and maybe make a star or some sort of notation. So for example, here I reference page 19. Maybe make a star on page 19, and that will remind you to come back to the lecture webpage so that you can see what I was referring to on page 19. So you don't have to kind of have them side by side at all times. Students have found this to be helpful in the past. In some of the later chapters, there are some mistakes in the textbook. Publishers aren't perfect, so I've tried to note as many of those mistakes as possible on here as well. During week 1, you're going to post an introduction of yourself, and this is part of your communication grade. There will be 2 communication postings throughout class, one in the first week and one in the last week, and that accounts for your communication points for the total class. I kind of always try to include a little fun fact about Excel or some little topic. And then the publisher has this Learn It Online site. On the Learn It Online site, there are practice tests that you can do. Students in the past have found these very helpful. If they do the practice test, they're more likely to do better on the actual quizzes. So you may want to attempt some of those as well. I also often will have a link to Microsoft's website for training. Microsoft provides thousands of training opportunities, including tutorials, training courses, videos that you can use for free as a Microsoft user. So you can see those here. And they broke them out by beginner, intermediate, and then there's advanced. And I will also find some that are particular to our weekly topic and include those as well. This is the information about the extra credit assignment. Again, this is optional, but it's worth 5 extra credit points. It's really just to teach you how to use the inbox to upload your work. So you just create a very basic Excel worksheet here, and you're going to upload that. So I'll show you how to upload from this point. You'll have an upload the assignment link on every single lecture web page. It's also going to be available at the top in the navigation bar under the title of Inbox. So when you're ready to submit your work, you're going to type in your username and password, click the Browse button, and then this is probably the most challenging thing. You need to find the file that you want to upload. I recommend that you create a folder on your desktop that you keep all of the files for class in. The most important thing here is that the file cannot have any spaces in the file name. So for example, I have this file called Weekly Schedule. I can't upload that because there's a space between weekly and schedule. I'll get an error message. So instead, even though it's a Word document, I'm going to grab the calendar file, click Open, and I can see it right here, and then I'll click Upload File. Most weeks you'll be uploading 2, maybe even 3 files. So you'll want to do those few steps more than once. Once you've uploaded, it says File Successfully Uploaded, and you'll click Continue. And you'll sign back in and be back at the page where you left. So if you have your second file ready to upload, you would click Inbox, or you can go down to the Upload option again and upload your second file for that week. During week 1, there's only 1 file because it's just the extra credit assignment. Once you upload a file, and there's directions here as well, once you upload a file, nothing shows up in the gradebook until after I've manually graded the file. So you won't see anything there. When you do upload a file, you will receive a confirmation email. I recommend that you hold on to this email until you see your grade in the gradebook. This email is proof that you uploaded your assignment by the due date. So you want to make sure you hold on to that. If you notice that you don't have a grade listed in the gradebook and it's been 2 or 3 days, go ahead and send me an email, or you can forward me the confirmation that you've received, and I can look into it on my end. In addition to the extra credit assignment, there's also an extra credit quiz. The extra credit quiz is just learning how to navigate the site. This is the one quiz that you can open more than once. What I recommend you do is open the quiz, print it out, or have it open, come back to the class website, and then navigate to where the quiz suggests you go. So for example, the quiz might say, when is the week 3 quiz available? So then you can go to the schedule, find the week 3 quiz, and check the dates on it. Every week I also have a tip of the week, and then information about when assignments are due. The next thing I wanted to look at is the message board. I'll go ahead and click the message board link, and again, this is one of the shared features. So the entire class, both sections, 8395 and 8396, use the same message board. So from the message board, you'll see any messages that are out here. For example, there's one from me. You can see the instructor wrote it. This is the subject line. And then you can click Read to read the message. When you're ready to write your own message, for example, your introduction, send a message to start a new thread. You'll enter your username and password. You'll often have to type it a second time. Put in a subject line and then type your message. If you want this message to go just to me, if it's about a particular score you received on an assignment or you have a question that you think only pertains to you, you can make this a private message. If there's no check mark in here, the message will be available on the board for everyone to see. Messages are not automatically emailed out to all students. We have almost 40 students in each section of this class, and if it was set up for automatic email, you probably receive 600 messages over the course of the 8 weeks, and that would be overwhelming. So messages are only available on the message board, even if it's private. If you'd like to contact me via email, you can do that as well. If you do have a question that you think would benefit the whole class, or a comment, maybe you found something out, then I would suggest you post it to the message board, but be sure that you include your version of Excel, because again, there are different assignments, and if you're talking about Bob Gleaming's budget, which is an Excel 2013 assignment, the 2010 students are going to be confused, wondering where's their Bob's Gleaming assignment. So I recommend that you put the subject line in with your version first, and then also the page number, and if you have it, a step number. That will help me know exactly where you are in the text and what you need help with. If you just go in and say, my formula doesn't work, I'm not sure which formula you're referring to, I'm not sure where you are in the text, and I'll have to come back to you to ask more information, and then you'll have to come back to me. Whereas if I have more information up front, it's going to make it a lot easier. Once you enter all the information in here, you'll go ahead and click Send Message. And again, nothing gets emailed. This is just going to be posted on the message board. The final thing listed here are the 2 gradebooks. Again, your username and email will only work on your section's gradebook. So if you're enrolled in 8395, you can click the gradebook link, type in your username and password, and you'll see all of your scores here along with my comments for any assignments that you've submitted. So that's all I had for this introduction. I hope this has helped you learn to navigate the class. If you do have any questions, please let me know, and I look forward to working with you this summer.